Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, broadcasting live from Lagos and Abuja. A reminder of our top stories. Women's groups in Nigeria and the United Kingdom condemn killing of school children at Yobe, demand more drastic action against the Boko Haram sect. Guest speaker at the APC summit, Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, slams Nigeria's political class and heaps the country's woes on them. Ahead of 2015 elections, former head of state, General Abdul Salami Abubakar, warns against the danger of pursuing selfish interests over national interest. And the United States threatens visa ban on any Russian or Ukrainian official involved in undermining Ukraine's sovereignty. All our top stories can be found on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. To get us on the move, visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. And please do interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android and Windows 8 platforms. If you have pictures or videos to share with us, tap on the application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and follow the instructions to share your report, pictures, and videos. And now here are some of the pictures sent in by our Eyewitness reporters. We start off in Abuja, and here is a picture of parents on Shehu Shagari Way protesting the killing of their children in Yobe State. They marched by Transcorp Hilton, and it appears that they're headed for Government House. From Ogun State comes a picture of a flooded apartment in Agbara Estate. Our Eyewitness reporter says it's due to a bad road and lack of an effective drainage system. And finally, we have a picture from Igbobo area of Ikorodu town. It shows residents and landowners who are protesting the violent activities of land grabbers, who in this next picture attempt to stop a landowner from developing his property. They are asking the Lagos State government to come to their aid. We do thank you for sending in your pictures. Please keep them coming. Nigeria's former head of state, General Abdul Salami Abubakar, has warned that the handling of the 2015 general elections will largely determine the future direction of the country. General Abubakar, who was speaking at a forum in Abuja, urged politicians to desist from making the 2015 polls a do-or-die affair, as some of their current activities tend to put Nigeria at great risk. Also present at the forum was the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwal, who placed the responsibility for a credible election in 2015 on the incumbent and the election empire. Our correspondent, Omelogo Nnadi, has the report.
This event, which brought the former president, retired General Abdul Salam Abubakar, and leaders from the National Assembly, key government officials, and the academia together, is the second People's Media Conference organized to dissect the 2015 general elections, which is around the corner. Top on the agenda was the heated polity and the way politicians are taking advantage of the situation, and who is in a better position to give directions than the one who midwifed the democratic process that Nigerians now enjoy.
The way we are able to handle this very important event will largely determine how successful we will be in our efforts as remaining a united, indivisible, and stable country. Already, the fault lines are apparent, and politicians are ready to exploit them to the fullest to achieve their sometimes not so notable objectives. The 2015 election is, among other things, expected to determine where power will reside in the next 4 years. The North is determined to have its back, and its leaders are pulling all the stops to see that that happens. On the other hand, The body language of the incumbent and the ruling party strongly suggests that the incumbent wants another term in office. Distinguished guests, the unfolding scenario may portend danger to our nation if Nigerians from all parts of the country do not close ranks and put the interests of the nation first. The sad and tragic experience of the 2011 post-election violence is a reminder that election matters have become serious business that must be handled with the utmost seriousness and patriotism in order to avoid a repeat.
Discussions got more exciting when the floor was thrown open to the academia and the civil society, and the call was clear that Nigerians must now make demands for change and follow it up with action.
Arise, Nigerians! Rise up, Nigerians! Your sleepiness has allowed people to take you for granted. 2015 should be your year. Stand up and be counted. Refuse to be manipulated.
Many have said that 2015 is pregnant, and the midwives that will ensure a safe delivery are not just government and INEC, but every single Nigerian of election age. Omelogo Nadi, Channels Television News.
Well, we now know the delegates to the National Conference. The federal government today released the names. Top on the delegates list are the names of 37 elder statesmen, which include Dr. Tunji Braithwaite, Chief Richard Akinjide, General Ike Nwachukwu, Chief Edwin Clark, and Senator Jim Nwobodo. Other elder statesmen are Professor Jerry Gana and the PDP chairman, Alhaji Adamu Muazu, amongst others. Other groups that will be represented at the National Conference include retired military and security personnel, traditional rulers, and retired civil servants, the Nigeria Labour Congress, the Trade Union Congress, representatives of women in business, market women, youth groups, civil societies, and religious groups. For the political parties, Dr. Ahmadu Ali and Chief Olabode George will represent the PDP, while the APC has yet to forward nominations. And at this point, we join our Abuja studios, where Linda Kigbe is standing by. Hello, Linda.
Thank you, Bimbo, and welcome to the nation's capital. The controversy surrounding the alleged unremitted funds by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, continues as the corporation today failed to give a proper account of the $2 billion it said was used for third-party financing. The suspended CBN Governor, Sanusi Lamido, had accused the NNPC of failing to remit $49.8 billion into the Federation account, but later revised the figure to $20 billion.
Exactly you are doing on NNPC accounts.
This is the fifth and final public hearing of the Senate Committee on Finance investigating the accusation by the suspended CBN Governor, Sanusi Lamido, that the NNPC failed to remit $49.8 billion into the Federation account. After a series of reconciliations between the CBN, NNPC, Finance and Petroleum Ministries, Mr. Sanusi Lamido reversed the figure to $20 billion. But the NNPC and the Petroleum Minister earlier admitted that $10.8 billion was not remitted to the Federation account and provided details of how the $10.8 billion was gulped by subsidy on petroleum products, crude oil, and product losses. There, however, remains an outstanding $6 billion, which the NNPC says it paid to the NPDC, and another $2 billion for third-party financing. But at this hearing, the NNPC had difficulty explaining how much exactly was paid from the $2 billion to the Federation account and the beneficiaries from the third-party financing.
About 1.3, 1.4 plus 1. We're back to 2.43 years.
But some went to third parties, some went to Federation account, according to you.
Yes.
Now take out what went to Federation account. What will remain?
Exactly. That's what we're saying in this case is we are going into the second level explanation of the detailed waterfall of each. And I gave an example of the domestic crude, for instance. The total amount in the domestic crude was accounted for in the first level of the reconciliation. Thereafter, more questions were asked by your committee, and the details of the dynamics of this is what we are now providing.
The simple arithmetic here does not add up either way. Whether you talk of the amount that went to federation account, you won't get 2 billion. If you talk of the amount that goes to third party, you won't get 2 billion. Either way you look at it, based on what you have submitted here.
With the question of a $2 billion still left unanswered, the committee has asked the companies involved in the third-party agreement, Total and Mobil, to present documents to show how much they each received from this arrangement from January 2012 to July 2013. A leading consultancy firm in education, Berners McFarlane UK, has launched its services in Nigeria. With over 20 years' experience in private tutoring and academic mentorship, the promoters of the services here insist on the need to get the best services and value for money. Berners McFarlane Nigeria hopes to build confidence, guide and nurture students throughout their academic career.
Then you find out that sometimes the academic support is not even there. They expect the child to get on with it. You're paying a lot for this education, and you're seeing the results, and it doesn't tally with the investment you think you are making. And the school sometimes may not be supportive. So you find out that you now need somebody who knows the schools, knows their history, knows their track record, knows the track record of the principal.
It's becoming increasingly tricky to navigate these international waters in terms of education. The landscape is changing, it's becoming more competitive, it's becoming more complex. So it seemed to me that if parents were going to be investing a lot of money in sending their children abroad, they needed to be making sure that they took care of everything so that the children got a good return on investment as far as, because we're spending and we're sacrificing quite a lot to try to get the best education for our children. But the landscape is changing. Everything is much more complicated, much more competitive.
We have a team at Berners McFarlane who place children into leading boarding schools and universities. And then once the children get to these schools, we have intensive academic mentoring programs and guardianship programs that enable the child and encourage the child to fulfill their potential at that particular school. In addition to that, we also provide tailor-made summer courses and educational programs to help children secure their goals.
And that's all from Abuja. Back to you, Bimbo.
Thanks very much, Linda. Now, when the news at 10 returns, overseas buyers stay away from CBN's latest Treasury bill auction. That's going to be on Business News, so please join us again.